state pale, threatening, we never expected Trump to expose the entire scam. Now, before we get started, let's talk about being prepared. With the new tensions in the Middle East, the future of America is no promise, and either is your safety. One product that has stood the test of time and has become a lifesaver to many has been the Patriot flashlight. Never waste money on batteries again. The Patriot flashlight is solar powered with new extended power battery. Lights up the darkest nights with a new powerful 800 lumen bulb. Life-saving emergency strobe light, and it has 4 unique lighting modes. Charge your phone anywhere with a USB port. Other features include compass, magnet, rope, wire cutter, solar power recharging, high and low beam LED mode, extended glass breaking hammer, all remain lightweight and durable. Customers love it. See what all the hype is about and purchase one of the best flashlights on the market. The Patriot Bravo X 2020 flashlight. Patriot Flashlight wants to extend a special 15% off Patriot discount to all customers throughout the month of January. Patriot Flashlight is the perfect addition to your perfect arsenal. Limited supply is the very last chance to get 15% off the new season.
Welcome to Battle Royale.
Take advantage
The
now and
match
give
is
you
about
and
to
your
start.
family the gift of night protection. Visit patriotflashlight.com or click the link below. Let's get into the economic
Time for the mission.
political
Get
and
ready.
geopolitical news. Each state went out panicking over what is happening with Iran. But they went to the top. They had no clue they were coming back. And Trump did this, and not just only him himself, those who were working with him, they decided to do this on purpose, which was called the plan. To send a message to the deep state, to the intelligence organization, to those in Iran that are thinking of doing something else. Why did Trump decide to do this? Because it shows that Trump and the Patriots are in control. It shows that Trump and the Patriots have no problem hitting anyone in Iran or anywhere else. There's not going to be a negotiation. There's not going to be, oh, let me pay you off. Oh, let me accept a bribe. None of that is going to happen. And this was a clear message to the intelligence organization. And those who are working with the intelligence organization, they're going to think twice about this. And this is what this is all about. Trump and the Patriots, they went ahead and they did this because they're prepared and ready to expose the
I'm a fair
scam
player. I'll let you get
in
what you
Iran.
gotta get.
And this brings the entire thing to the public. And the public now can see what is going on. Because we need to remember, think about everything that is happening right now. We had the Comey report, we had the IG Pfizer report. Trump and Patriots are educating the people on that. And we had Iran happen pretty much at the same time. We also have Epstein, where we had pictures come out
Okay.
that shows that, yeah, this does not look like he hung himself with a sheet. It looks like someone took a wire to his neck and strangled him. All of this is happening at the same time, and there's a reason for it. What is that reason? It's the perfect storm. To expose everything all at once. We'll be talking about this a little bit later. But first, we see more individuals that are deciding to step down. In Gannett Company, we have Allison Engel, who's stepping down as Chief Financial Officer of the Media and Marketing Solutions Company at the end of the first quarter. And very interestingly, we have Defense Secretary Chief of Staff Eric Chewning. He decided to resign, and he works for Esper. He decided he is out. Very interesting, and the timing is very interesting. And you know what else is very interesting? Because a lot of these things are happening all at once. I mean, is this a coincidence that all of these things are starting to happen all at once? I don't believe so. Think about it. The deep state, they use Hollywood personnel to push their agenda. Do you think the Patriots
They
have
sure
the ability
did.
to use certain personalities in Hollywood to push their agenda? I do believe so. Now, Ricky Gervais, he was hosting the Golden Globe Awards, and he came out and he said a couple of things. Now, a lot of individuals since he's a comedian, they think these are jokes. A lot of times you can mask the real important issues with a joke. There was a time when Trump was roasting Hillary Clinton. Everyone laughed. They thought he was joking. They all knew it was true, and they laughed about it. Trump was completely serious about it. I do believe Ricky Gervais was completely serious. He talked about Epstein, how we all know that he didn't kill himself. He talked about how Hollywood is a bunch of perverts. How some of the individuals didn't take the Lolita Express to get to Epstein Island. Some had other travel arrangements, and they went to the island. I mean, think about what he's saying here. He also told the audience that Amazon, Apple, Disney, well, they all contract out and they use child labor in China and many other countries, sweatshops. And if you're going to come up here and accept the award, don't get all political because you have no idea what you're talking about.
Get 'em.
You're a hypocrite.
Get 'em.
Just accept your award.
And get the fuck on.
Say thank you to your God.
Your God.
Say thank you to your producer and your agent, and leave the stage.
Right.
You should have seen the people's faces. They couldn't believe what they were hearing. And I do believe this happened at the exact moment that it had to happen. Because how many people were watching this? 14 million people? 14 million people. They were just brought into the fold. They just took the pill. Now, they might not believe this. They might have been thinking that, oh, he's joking around. It doesn't matter. It was announced, and he went over quite a bit. And he let everyone know the facts. Now, people might not believe it. It doesn't matter because it goes into your subconscious. It sits there. It waits. Some people might be saying, wait a minute, what is he talking about? Let me look this up. Let me just take this a step further. Other people will stay asleep, but it will sit there in their subconscious. And it will be triggered later on. This is brilliant. And as you believe, the Patriots are controlling this part. Now, what's very interesting is that still Nancy Pelosi has not delivered the articles of impeachment. What are they waiting for? Well, they're waiting to see if they can manipulate the Senate. They're looking for blackmail. They're looking to turn people. They're also looking for a crime. Remember those 3 cases in the Supreme Court? So far, they have not gotten this. And they're trying to delay.
Who doesn't see that?
And this might not work out.
Only person not to. I'm
Because
sorry, y'all.
Senator Josh Hawley is introducing formal resolution to toss this whole fake impeachment out the window. He announced that if Democrats do not deliver their articles of impeachment to the U.S. Senate,
That's
as
it.
is required by the U.S. Constitution, he will introduce a measure to dismiss the fake articles of impeachment. Now,
Right.
he gave her this warning on Friday. And he said, listen, we'll have a couple of days here, I think 3. Today is January 6th. Your time is up. So she was put on notice. Now, the Senate, they adopted a set of 26 rules that govern all impeachment proceedings, known as the Rules of Procedure and Practice in the Senate when sitting on impeachment trials. Those rules presume prompt delivery of the articles of impeachment to the Senate following their adoption by the House. Historically, the House delivered articles of impeachment to the Senate for action almost simultaneously with the vote to impeach. During the Clinton impeachment, for example, the articles were transmitted to the Senate the same day they were approved. The current Senate rules have no mechanism right now to address Speaker Pelosi's unprecedented attempt to prevent a Senate trial by withholding the articles after the president has been impeached. So this is why Josh Hawley decided we need something to remedy this. And this is why he's introducing or amending the Senate's impeachment rules to prevent this abuse of the Constitution and protect the Senate's sole power to try impeachment. And this is going to give Nancy Pelosi, I think, 25 days to transmit the articles of impeachment. If they do not transmit the articles of impeachment under the new rules, the senator will be entitled to move to dismiss once the allotted time period had elapsed. And any motion to dismiss would be voted upon by the full Senate. So right now, the deep state, the Dems, they've been put on notice. You have 25 days now.
Ooh.
25 days to try to get that crime, to try to produce something, to support the fake articles of impeachment, which they're not going to be able to do. They are sweating now. They are put into a position where the whole thing is going to fall apart. Remember, they told us that Trump violated certain parts of the Constitution, that there were crimes, and he had to be impeached. And of course, they did this in the basement, where no one could view the trial, the hearings. The transcripts were withheld from the people. They only released certain transcripts. Then they had a public hearing, and it didn't go well for them, so they cut it short. And they said he has to be impeached because of everything that he's done. And then they hold up the articles of impeachment. The whole thing's fake.
No bullshit, dog.
The whole thing is fake, and the American people know it. Because the people now are
Nancy
looking at
Pelosi
this
looked like
saying,
a drunk
this is
ass
not real.
old
We
woman
don't
on
believe what
stage
you're
after
saying.
the hearing
And what's
when they
happening
got
now
there. I mean,
is
one of those
that
two
all the
articles.
evidence that has to do with Ukraine is now coming out.
I watched
And
all
more
those
of it
joints.
is coming out. Not against Trump, against Biden, CrowdStrike, election meddling, you name it. Paul Sperry tweeted out the following. Breaking. Senate investigators seeking records of testimony from Biden advisor on Ukraine energy policy, Amos Hochstein, who in 2015 discussed with Biden his son Hunter's sweetheart deal with corrupt policeman oligarch. Hochstein briefing Biden on 2015 trip to Ukraine. Everyone is starting to talk. Biden is getting mixed up with what he's saying. People are starting to ask questions. That's what this is all about. And people are starting to dig. So we have Ricky Gervais, who came out and just red-pilled America. This was not a coincidence. We have Harvey Weinstein right now, where he was out in L.A. and the people that he raped, they're coming out telling everyone how it was done. We have photos of Jeffrey Epstein coming out that are being produced, and they're showing his neck, and they're showing the mark on his neck. And guess what? There's no way a sheet could make that mark. Actually, Dr. Baden, who was hired by the family of Jeffrey Epstein, he was on Judge Jeanine Pirro discussing.
Nobody don't condone what
and during
Mr.
the
Epstein was
discussion,
doing.
he said
And that whole
he
case
showed
was weird.
convincing
When I first heard
evidence
about that shit,
Epstein's death was not a suicide. Epstein's bed was only 5 feet 6 inches tall.
man,
Epstein was 4 feet taller.
and they say, yeah, this guy's going to jail. First thing that came to my mind is
6 inches.
they want
Now,
to kill that
according
white
to
boy
the
in there.
doctor, the height of the tie would not
Not just
bring
because he's
enough
going to
force
penitentiary
to
jail.
break any bones.
I mean, there's some
let alone
jacked up
3
places
bones
like
in his
that
neck.
though, but not really, y'all. Trust
And
me, yo.
the photos were released.
I went through the
And
system
you take a
before.
look at these photos.
I was in there. I wasn't in there for no
Would not
crazy ass
make a
crimes though,
fine
but
line
I've been there.
like you see on the neck
I've been to the
of Jeffrey
prison
Epstein.
grounds.
This is
I've been to jail.
wire that was
Look, watch this, y'all.
used in
He's
the
gonna be stuck. Look, 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 look.
highway bone.
Look at that glitch every time you throw the smoke.
It's all falling
I'm the
apart.
only one that noticed that in this game, yo.
And
That's
Deep
crazy.
State, they're struggling to keep the narrative. And as
Like
more
the
and more
biggest
information
glitch,
comes
yo.
out, more and more people
Everybody
wake up.
freezes.
If you
So
notice,
if you see anybody
the
throw
Patriots are
anything
doing
at
this very,
you,
very slowly.
especially a smoke bomb,
And people are thinking.
you'll know the difference between a
because
smoke
they're
bomb and a
continually
grenade.
hearing about all these
Look.
different things.
Should I get him?
Epstein didn't kill himself. People flew down to Epstein Island. Why did these people go to Epstein Island.
Oh shoot, he shot that joint.
Charges.
Oh, that was not Donis.
Human trafficking, rape, and other things. Pedophilia. Why
Watch
were
this.
these people still friends with him?
Oh, he's not blind?
Think about all the things that are happening right now. More and more people are waking up and they're asking questions. And when people are completely awake,
Like, yo, this dude just jumped off the car and did this and did that.
because now they're thinking.
I use everything in this environment, yo.
The safe zone is collapsing.
And no matter how much
Airdrop has
propaganda,
been
no matter
delivered.
what the mainstream
And I'm
media, the
still
deep
not on the
state
leaderboard ranking.
does,
It's all
they
about
can't
score.
convince the
But
people.
dang, come on now, y'all.
Let's take, for example,
I should get it for like the most victories in the joint, especially when I be playing
people are looking
by
at
myself
this
with the
saying,
teams.
This works. Having a weapon shut down someone who is trying to do harm to others.
Get him.
Let's say this person had a knife and no one was armed. This person might have been able to hurt or kill many people in the congregation. Remember, it's not the weapon, it's the person. The person had a weapon. Other people had a weapon. They were able to stop them. But Michael Bloomberg, he's saying that no one should have a weapon in public. Only the police should have a weapon in public. Let's take this scenario and see what happens. Alright, the person came in and in a matter of seconds, where
Now, let me start playing
this
Ralph
individual
Waldo.
started to
I'm
shoot,
gonna be mad at
people
myself.
stopped him. Now,
God,
Bloomberg is
dang.
saying only police should have weapons in public. This individual would have, what, 1, 2, 3 minutes before the police even got there?
Are you
This
serious?
person killed? This is what Bloomberg really wants? Yes, this is what
How am I
they
missed
want.
that? What? Is
And
there
they're
even
trying
some?
to make an argument for it, just like in Virginia. But what is it really doing? It's exposing them, just like down at the border. And the police usually take, what, 1, 2, 3 minutes to get there? Most of the time, police come after the crime happened. And if they do arrive during a crime, a lot of times, an individual hurt or killed people, and the police can't do anything about it. Having someone with a weapon who's right on the scene can stop
Chip
these
terminal is
individuals.
almost
And
ready.
these individuals, it doesn't mean that they have a gun. I'm talking about the criminal who's pushing the act,
It'll be like
They
the
could
only
have a
country
knife.
that still have
They
the
could
right to
have
bear
anything.
arms, yo.
where they could hurt people.
Y'all better think about that.
And it seems that this now is all
The
exposed.
safe zone is collapsing.
What's very interesting is out in Australia,
Oh shoot!
mainstream media, they're all out there saying
Down to the
all
last
these
5
fires,
players.
they are starting because of climate change. And these fires in Australia, they're not from climate change. So far, a total of 183 people have been arrested by police infringement.
This thing, look,
And they're saying
look,
that
frozen.
85% of
This thing. They say
are caused by humans, either deliberately
a lot of
or
Aboriginal
accidentally
people,
starting them.
black people,
So
was
when we look at what's happening in Australia, which is terrible,
first
these
and
fires
from
are
Only
being
2
set
players
by
left.
Australia.
individuals.
Almost there.
And
look
they've
into that,
arrested
yo.
almost
You don't think they trying to
200
wipe them
already.
people out there? The last,
And this has
the
nothing
last
to
bit
do
of blacks that's
with
over there.
climate
Come on
change.
now, y'all. Like, open your fucking mind, yo.
Now, out in Iran,
Like literally,
we
yo.
can see that the entire
Or some
situation
Australian black
is
people
being
don't-
pushed
They don't
very, very
even.
hard by the
I
Dems
might have been looking all the way. Like,
and
there's
they're
ones that's in
worried.
the slums looking
They're
like
scared.
areas, man. Them people
Nancy
look
Pelosi
bad,
right now is
y'all.
going to introduce a resolution implying preemptive surrender to Iran.
Ouch.
She's going to take the power away from the president. It has to do with Iran. Why would she want to do that? Well, there's a reason. There's a reason
Chip
why
terminal is
Pelosi
almost ready.
wants to introduce this new war powers resolution. It's going to be voted on this week. Now, her letter says that with this declaration, the president, his airstrikes on Assad and Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, leader of the terrorist Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, have
The
forced
safe zone is collapsing.
responsible for the murders of hundreds of Americans and for recent attacks on the U.S. embassy in Baghdad was a provocative and disproportionate. Times suggesting the attack is illegal under international law and could constitute a war crime. Well, the president has the constitutional authority to take military action short of declaring war, that he and his advisors were necessary to protect American citizens. This authority to display his role, especially when the nation's most nature is kept secret from the intended target.
Shit, nobody ain't saying when they assassinated
under international law. Now, why is
my
he
man's
doing
in
this?
them, yo. He was
Why
trying
is
to do
he
something
doing
great.
this right now? Now, we need to go back to
Gaddafi, yo.
2007.
He was trying to
This was back
kill the
February
dollar and have
2014.
everything be used by gold and stuff.
And I'm going to read it from the top. It says,
On Obama's
how
watch.
much money, cash, was sent by the Fed to Iraq for the Iraq War? And it looks like there was 12 billion, 40 billion, quite a bit of money that was sent to Iraq. Well, this money vanished. Nobody knows where it went. Same thing with Afghanistan. It says, how much money cash was confiscated from the Iraq Central Bank? Billions. Now, if it worked in Iraq, why not replicate it in Iran? How much money cash was sent to Iran? Well, the U.S. paid Iran about $1.3 billion 2 days after the $400 million cash transfer, and probably a lot more than that. Q says, who controls the distribution of funds? Who accounts for the funds? Who has access to the funds? Who really has access to the funds? Do funds return in the form of political donations? Do funds return in the form of massive donations to foundations and or institutes? Do funds return in the form of offshore bank accounts for future payments payoff? Now, the other day, we talked about how there was an individual in Iran saying,
Yo,
listen,
I'm trying to rock
we will out
PUBG on this
individuals
channel.
that
I'm
took
tear
bribes,
y'all up.
that
I ain't
took
catching a
these
minute either.
funds. Let me continue. No honest control in place, no checks and balances in place, no safeguards in place.
Welcome to
Threat
Battle
of an
Royale.
outsider
The match is about
becoming
to start.
president. Loss of control. Trillions of dollars at stake. Controlled by group
Time for
of
the mission.
special
Get ready.
interests. A leader of democracy. Welcome to the real world. The time for the leader of opportunity to right the wrong. We the people must reform in the voice of the hours. We must rise in this fight. God bless the United States of America. So all these funds that are going out to Afghanistan, to Iraq, to Iran, they come back to the individuals in government. Just like the programs we set up, where they have a high-speed train in California. The funds are sent out, they're laundered, and they're used to bribe certain individuals, and the money flows back into their pockets. Now, these individuals,
Oh man.
they don't want the American people to know that this is happening. They're worried about being exposed. And this is exactly what Trump and the Patriots are doing right now.
I'm like,
We've had the
Take
Comey
my-
report, the
rap,
Pfizer
goddamn, you gonna
report,
go in this war and
we've
we
had
really.
the Ukraine
How dare
education
you.
about the Bidens, what Putin's emails are. We know there's criminal investigation. Barr has mentioned spying, and it goes on and on and on. We know that there are certain individuals that went to Epstein Island. Epstein didn't kill himself. And now we have
I think R.
Iran
Kelly was
on
there
top
too
of
for some
all
odd
of
ass
it.
reason.
And of course,
R. Kelly
what
got
has
arrested
happened?
the same day they
Deep
got
state,
Epstein.
They're trying to push the United States out of Iraq because Iraq is right next to Iran. And they're trying to take control of Iraq.
First blood.
Now, they're trying to push the United States and the coalition forces out of Iraq right now because they have no alternative. And we need to understand what is happening in Iraq. Yes, Trump eventually is going to remove the forces, but he can't remove them too soon because there are still deep state operatives, black sites, that he needs to take care of. So Hussein Abdul Hussein broke this down. For non-Arabic speakers, reporting in the main news outlets, New York Times and Washington Post, is so misinformed, either on purpose or because of incompetence, that you might think that the Iraqi state has officially voted for ejecting U.S. forces from Iraq because of Trump's miscalculated move. Iraqi parliament barely had a quorum for a session on ejecting U.S. troops. Sunni and Kurdish blocs boycotted the session, thus taking America's side over Iran. And thus quorum was 170 of 328, half plus 4, just like Hezbollah designated a PM in Lebanese parliament with half. The next
I
Iraqi
respect
parliament
everybody,
voted on
culture, and
was
religion.
not a legislation,
One thing I'm
but
not
a
feeling is
non-binding
that
resolution
you're able to come to
deflect Iranian
you can
anger.
go in our malls and
Abdul
stuff
Mahdi
with your
said
jobs
US
and all
troops
that
will
stuff
leave
covering your
according to
face, but
timetable.
as soon as I go in the mall
Troops
with a
of Assad
hoodie on, I
dynasty
get harassed by
occupied
grown
Lebanon
ass
for
man,
29
yo.
years, with Assad and Lebanese saying
Remember they was
withdrawal
like,
and threat,
cuz that's
but
their
tied to
religion. I was
timetable.
like, okay.
In Mid-Eastern countries,
You can't see their face.
timetables
Oh, they come on
mean
saying it's their
indefinitely.
religion.
Bottom line is, Iraqi parliament vote was
I
an
was like,
Iranian
man, y'all say
saving measure.
anything.
Iran
Y'all,
is
it's a
in a
big
bind. If it retaliates
attack
without
against black
claiming
people.
its attack,
Still, this
it
war
does
will
not
never
count as
end, yo.
revenge for Soleimani. If Iran claims the attack, regime risks further wrath in a
Somebody about to
country
shoot
whose
at
economy is in
me.
freefall. So right now, they haven't really decided on what is going to happen. Now, there's this letter that's floating around. There's no signature on it. And it turns out that this is not an official letter. It was a draft. And people have been sending this around saying this is official,
I
that the
really
troops are leaving. Now, Esper
really
came out and said, no, this letter
don't
that's been going
respect
around
that little
is a
call
draft,
about religion. Joe.
not worded properly, should have never been released,
I
and
can't wear a hoodie.
there are no U.S.
They
troops
say they can't see my
moving
face.
out of Iraq at this time.
I'm gonna have to record
Doesn't
that,
mean
make
it's
a
not
video
going to
about it
happen,
one day.
but it's not happening
to
right
say
now. This came out of the mainstream media, and they were pushing that the U.S. troops are going to be leaving. Now, as of right now, they are not. Now, Trump
Airdrop has been
is
delivered.
threatening harsh sanctions on Iraq if U.S. troops are forced out of Iraq right now. He also said that we rebuilt the air base many times, and Iraq owes us money for this air base.
Give us
So
our money,
we know that the
goddamn.
deep state, they would like all troops, because they're no longer in control of them, out of Iraq. Yes, eventually Trump is going to remove these troops. But the exposure of Iran and removing the deep state, the troops need to stay in place. And we can see how nervous and afraid the deep state, those in Iran are. The propaganda of them screaming and yelling,
Game
showing
over.
propaganda videos, pictures, talking about all the targets they're going to hit. Actually, it reminds me of North Korea with Kim Jong-un, where they're going to hit Chicago, they're going to hit New York with a nuke, and they're going to blow and level everyone, and they put out these videos showing how the United States is being leveled, and they're going to fire an EMP over the United States and shut down the electrical grid. We need to think logically here. The deep state are controlling certain individuals within Iran. Now, there are deep state players in the Iranian administration. They have now seen Trump use force like they've never seen before. Actually, they didn't expect it coming. They had no idea. That was a message to show that whatever you do next, you should expect something 10 times worse. So let's think about this for a second. If the deep state convinces Iran to do something, Trump and the
Airdrop has been
Patriots
delivered.
will retaliate.
They ain't playing either, yo.
Probably not in Iraq, probably in Iran.
See?
And if Iran decides to hit civilians or, any of the sites that they're talking about, what's going to happen to Iran? It's going to be destroyed. Now, those individuals in Iran who've been taking
stuck.
instructions from certain deep state intelligence
Look,
officials
they
and
don't
others,
move, yo. That's crazy.
they are now questioning this. They're realizing they're no longer in control
That
of
is
this.
crazy. I remember I first noticed
And
that. I
I
was
see
like,
the
yo.
propaganda. It's being pushed
I
like
thought I was tripping. I was like, why are you standing there? That was like,
world
like
stage,
when I first started
they're
playing.
showing everyone that they're really tough. Will
This
they
thing
try
had
something?
how many updates so far?
Maybe, maybe not. We don't know as of yet how desperate they will be, and how much they believe in the deep state operators. Remember, Kerry's been out there many, many times to save that deal. They've been speaking with the EU. Trump, for all intents and purposes, has trapped them.
Dang, that
And
just blew
they
the
need
door
to make a
open.
decision.
God dang.
Are you going to make a decision and stay with the deep state and go to war with the United States? Or are you going to make a decision to say, you know something? We know they can't protect us anymore. We need to deal with them. And we can't push this any further. And I just want to go back to 2010. Back then, WikiLeaks published papers and actually backed up the claims from Bush that said Iran was involved in Iraq. And they were providing material assistance and training to the insurgents in Iraq. And it shows that they were infiltrating Iraq at that time. Now, the whole weapons of mass destruction, that was fake. This turns out, from the WikiLeaks papers, this turns out to be absolutely true. Now, we need to remember that with this whole entire hit on Soleimani, he was in Iraq, and they never expected anything like this, because Qasem Soleimani wouldn't be parading around in Iraq. Remember, they were orchestrating the attack on the U.S. Embassy. They thought they were protected. They thought they were safe. They thought United States, because in the past, they weren't going to do anything because they bought off certain individuals, and certain individuals were working with them. They never saw this coming. They were taken by surprise. The mainstream media was taken by surprise. Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, and the rest, Brennan, you name it, all taken by surprise. They had no clue what was going on. This is a game changer. Not because this individual was killed. It's a game changer because they now know that they have no clue in what is going on. And the days of looking the other way are completely gone. So they have a decision to make. And I do believe most likely they'll make the right one. Or their people, they're going to rise up against them. They're trapped in a position where they have no out. Because the people don't want war. This is not a war with the people. Just like United States people, we don't want to go to war with Iraq, with Syria, with Iran. We don't want a World War III. North Korea, we don't want a war with them. The people of North Korea don't want a war. The people of the world don't want a war. It's the deep state players. It's the central bank. They're the ones who continually push war and trick the people into war. Now, the United States, they decided that they were going to launch B-52 bombers, and they're being deployed. Now, this does not mean that we're going to make strikes in Iran. They're doing this just as a precaution, because they're seeing Iran move some of their missiles around. Now, most likely, Iran is moving their missiles around for defensive purposes. The B-52s are not going to be stationed in Qatar. Instead, they're going to be stationed in Diego Garcia. And this is quite a distance away from Iran, about 2,500 kilometers. The reason for this is because the Shahab-3 MRBM and the SOMAR cruise missile, their ranges are between 2,000 and 2,500 kilometers. So instead of putting the B-52s in Qatar, where they could be hit, they moved them out of range, but they're still in striking distance. And all of this is being done not to start World War III. This is why Trump continually comes out there saying, we don't want regime change, we don't want a war, we want negotiations. Make a decision. Who are you dealing with now? Are you still dealing with the deep state? Or are you going to deal with us right now? Already, it seems that Iran is moving towards dealing with Trump the Patriots. Why? Because they are disregarding now the deal that Kerry, Obama, and the EU made with them by continually making more and more uranium. Actually, Trump came out and said, and tweeted, Iran will never have a nuclear weapon because Trump and the Patriots are going to make a new deal with Iran.
I wouldn't doubt
And
that.
I do
One
believe
shot.
that Iran, instead of pushing their agenda, they're going to back off. Maybe they'll save face some other way, but they will deal with Trump and the Patriots. And the plan will move forward. This is what this strike was about. To show, right off the bat, there's no question about our intent, about what will happen next. If Trump didn't do this and just made threats, they wouldn't believe. This makes them believe. The Patriots are in control of the situation. They understand the
hitting them, yo.
situation. And they're pushing Iran to now flip. Now, once again, anything could happen. The deep state, they're very, very desperate. And it doesn't mean that we might not see something. With North Korea, we really didn't see much. Yes, they fired off some missiles, but we really didn't see much. Iran is a tougher nut. They have a stronger hold. But I believe those in Iran are going to see what might happen. And they know that Trump and the Patriots, they are not fooling around. And I wouldn't be surprised in the
Chip
next couple of
terminal is
weeks,
almost ready.
Iran decides to turn their backs on the deep state. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.
The safe zone is collapsing.
22.
Airdrop has been
Type in
delivered.
X22 if you want to watch some of those videos. Oh, see what some. I ain't seen Bitcoin bend today. Let's see what he talking about.
You know, there's no doubt that stuffing a modern drivetrain into a classic muscle car is hot right now. But almost as popular as stuffing one into a classic truck or a wagon or a Suburban. Because generally these are cheaper to get into than a car. They're really cool, and they're a heck of a lot of fun. Are you kidding? Look at this. And nobody understands that more than American Powertrain. So they've come out with a kit that will allow you to put a 6 or 5-speed transmission into your classic truck. Take a look. This is the kit for the 67 through 72 Chevy pickup, and it starts with either a Magnum 6-speed or the TKO 5-speed, depending on your budget. And then it also includes this big, wide aluminum pop handle to reach out and connect to those frame rails. You got the speedometer hookups, the electrical hookups, all the nuts and bolts, so you
I'm
don't
running
have
out
to
of
go
smoke.
back and forth to the auto parts store. Or all that little stuff. It even comes
Hey, yo,
with
that
the
joint
drive
stops
shaft, so
him
you're
for
good to
real,
go on that.
yo. That
Now, of
is
course, if you need a belt housing,
crazy.
clutch, pressure plate, flywheel, American Powertrain has all that, and they can set it up to work with this kit and your project. So, if you've got a classic pickup, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, and you really want to make it run, American Powertrain has got the transmission.
Man, I'm the only one that noticed that joint. Well, now y'all know. And we're live. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, Bitcoin Ben.
And relax. Good morning, everybody. It's Bitcoin Ben. Good Monday morning.
Hey, what the block is going on in cryptocurrency? Ooh, I should get that sniper joint. That joint can sit on.
I'm starting the diet. Today is the day that I get my cleanse on with Bix Weir and his
Chip terminal
lovely
is
wife,
almost ready.
Amy.
That's the
I
second thought he
haven't
did.
eaten any fattening food since yesterday night. How do I look?
Wow, you know, like something's really gonna happen in the
I
day.
like my chin so much I got another one.
The white boy cool though.
See, people worry about their weight so much. I don't worry about it. I embrace it. The more of me there is, the more that I can give. I figure the bigger I am, the more love that I can radiate to the community. Let's see who's in the
Down to the
chat.
last 5 players.
Now, let's see if our boys in here yet. Let's see. Ken Bozak. Where's Bozak at? You in here, brother? Let's see who we got. We got Tech Lords. Welcome, Tech
Only
Lords.
2 players left.
The
Almost there.
cryptocurrency nomad. We
Time to play the circle.
excuse me. We got Litecoin Llama, Jerry Hardison, Pennywise, Salty Brewer, and Graham Ferus. We got John, all the way from LA. We got David Watts. We got Amina in the house. Woo-hoo! Canada representing. All right, guys, welcome to the show. Pretty soon we'll have Mr. Ken Bozak in the chat, blowing it up as
So they
always.
got that sniper.
He's
Chip terminal
he's
is
always so
almost
much
ready.
fun in a chat room. Let's see, we got Crypto Angels in the house, of course. Welcome everybody. We're already over 120 people live. All right. Welcome everybody.
The
Thumbs
safe
up.
zone is collapsing.
Remember, you guys are the army. We're the trumpet. We need the army so we can trumpet. To secure the videos and the host and the show, you've got to give a thumbs up. It's not that big of a deal. You press the button, thumbs up, like, subscribe, and hit the notification. Absolutely. Crypto Eddie, live from New Orleans. Great Monday, everybody. Cryptocurrencies are shooting up this morning. Always good to see a green day. And I gotta give props. The props are due.
You're right. It's always good to see a green day, but more like
XRP's up almost 2%.
crypto's still here. It's more exciting.
Guys know that. But gotta give a shout out to XRP. Last year, it got the shit kicked out of it. Like the worst
not really,
performing cryptocurrency in the top 20. But hey, there you go, brother. Hey, it's Paulie D in the house. Oh, wow. Let's see. Oscar Cortez. Yeah, I just got my Divvy wallet and have been Divvy staking. Thanks, Ben. Hey, no problem, brother. I'm telling you. Dude, Divvy. Number one, let's do a little housekeeping here. Join my Patreon. All right? It's only $5 a month, and that's where you get the information to get a job in cryptos. I got more and more cryptocurrency companies contacting me on, they're wanting to hire people, but there's nowhere to reach out to the community. So join my Patreon if you're looking to get a job in cryptos. Number two, I'm working with a
Welcome to
very
Battle
well-known
Royale. The match is about to start.
cryptocurrency channel on offering some group rates on his
Time for the mission. Get ready.
programming education series. Remember, guys, this year is the year that we're going to change all of it. So I'm partnering up with a guy named Ivan. You may or may not know Ivan. And I'm actually going to get a group rate on his education and coding packages through my Patreon. So join the Patreon. It's only $5 a month. The reason I use Patreon is to keep the trolls out. You'd be surprised how many trolls.
If trolls bother you,
And if I don't
you got
use
weak feelings,
Patreon,
bro.
then they have to get the inside information. And they get the email address. Alright, so join the Patreon. Click the link.
Oh, I hit the
join
parachute already.
Get a
You
job.
probably ain't shot me down yet.
Coming soon. In education
I just saw.
with a guy named
Oh, I
Ivan.
saw somebody random.
But you may know.
Ooh, my
Learn how
favorite
to
weapon.
code from nothing. So, alright, awesome. Let's move on. This Saturday,
I'm out to
This
just
past Saturday,
wild out on this match.
I was in Flint, Michigan. Shout out to everybody who showed up in Flint, Michigan. And shout out to Andreas Antonopoulos for coming to the Flint, Michigan meetup and hanging out with us. It was a great interview I did with him. Andreas is a real dude. He's a humble guy and he's funny as hell. And I'll tell you what, doing an interview with Andreas live in Flint was amazing. Check out my last video for that interview. It was great. Thank you for everyone who was there. Thank you for everyone who hosted it and had drinks and just was just like the energy that was there was so amazing. Those old school cryptocurrency meetups. It was like we had so many people show up.
One thing about the joints,
travel.
you only see people that's already a part of crypto,
Canada,
and people that just got put into crypto.
Of course, Michigan, Indiana, Arkansas, Tennessee. We had another couple that was there from, I think, Florida or no, Texas. Yeah, there was another couple from Texas. It was awesome. Great meetup. Thank you guys. Thank everybody for hosting it. Thank everybody for showing up. And thank you. My next meetup is in Salt Lake City, Utah. It is January 29th, 27th. Hang on, let me check. Be right back. All right, my next meetup is in Utah, January 29th, this month. And guess who's going to be there? Big Smear is going to join me in Utah. We're going to rock the Mormons. Yeah!
Oh,
And the Clintons will be over, so we'll be the only ones.
this one I get shot at.
It is going to be Ben and Bix rocking the Mormons in Salt Lake City, January 29th. It's on a Wednesday night, but hey, it's going to be a blast. You're going to love it. So if you're near Utah, which nobody is, Utah is like a desert with a hole in the ground, and that's where they put the city. Hey, what's up, Bitcoin AML Solutions Consulting? Shout out to them. I had a great conversation. Right? Hey, look at Zoom Coco right there. Here, let's just, oh man, it's so nice having you here until you just got kicked the fuck out. Nobody talks bad about my boy Vic. You get on this chat and you talk bad about all my friends, you're gonna get a foot of your digital ass. Right, little? Yeah, that's right. Daddy ain't playing. Shut up, Will. Get me some coffee. Wait, I can't drink any coffee. I'm on the cleanse. All right. Yes, warning to all you trolls. If you get on here and you talk bad about my friends, you're fun to get the boot. I don't play no games. All right.
Unless you know, people are still very sensitive to the weak, yo. If you
Now,
like people, if you're bothered by what people say to you, yo, it's like you might as well just don't get online, yo. Like literally, yo, makes perfect sense. Don't use online if
cyber ass.
you don't deserve to be online. You don't deserve to be in public if people people can offend you. That lets people like me know your weakness. You like he always talk about, yeah, I got a speech impediment. I went through it ever since I was a kid. I went through it as a kid, but you hear him, hey, anybody say anything wrong, troll is freedom of speech, yo. You can't stop nobody. Only thing you can do is either ignore it, yo. You blocking the person really doesn't do nothing, yo. Like, all they're gonna do is make another page. Like, seriously, y'all, like, it doesn't make sense. If words bother y'all that much, yo, get offline. Don't use Facebook. Don't use Twitter. Don't play. Don't get on these online building sites. It's always gonna be about you. How many of y'all got a job and there's somebody you don't like and they're talking about you, yo? There's somebody you don't like and they're talking about you. What do you do? Just like gossip about it with your other friends at work. Like gossip about it. Real for just ignore it, yo. Just continue doing you. Somebody talking bad about you, just making you stronger, yo. Somebody talking bad about you, just making you a stronger person inside and out, yo. Because whatever somebody's opinion about you isn't your reality. Whatever somebody's opinion about you, whatever somebody else's opinion about you isn't your reality. Somebody else's opinion.
You have a little bank, and you make a little bit of money. You can have a big bank, you make a lot of money. You can have a big bank.
I like listening to Bitcoin Ben. Now he's been talking about trolls. Everybody use that word so loosely. Trolls, you're trolling.
It's why
if somebody don't like something what you said, yo, they have the right to speak on it, yo. If they say, hey, your show sucks, you tell them, well, you should be like, well, you're here. You're watching me and keep doing what you do, yo.
Because
but nah, I want to be sensitive. Ain't gonna want to join about cryptocurrency, blockchain technology. Blockchain is supposed to be censorship resistance. How you gonna speak of being on censorship resistant stuff? We have moderators, people kicking people out of your groups, people blocking people, people erasing comments. Come on now, y'all. Come on now.
As you actually get rewarded,
there's so many people in the crypto space that talk that, yeah, blockchain is censorship resistance. I mean, definitely with Bitcoins, because there's money. But when you get on the site show, it's a whole nother ball game. It's like everything is censorship resistance.
In a sense.
So everybody get on that joint, they be like,
and actually Bitcoin without you having to do anything. It will automatically swap and transfer it into your Litecoin or Bitcoin wallet.
I ain't really gonna talk
You know
about
what I'm telling you there?
But
it's like having
people
Bitcoin
are able to offend you and it bothers you. You are weak. A weak person, yo.
You see what I'm saying? Where you're rewarded,
I don't know how to feel to be bullied
but you're paid
or anything, y'all.
Bitcoin
Never been
and
picked on. I'm not even making this
They're
shit
gonna
up.
bring out a platform that's gonna be like a
Never felt that feeling of being picked on, bullied.
Amazon.
Some people bothered me, but I just look at them like, okay, keep it moving. I don't go home and cry about it, yo.
Here, I'll just put it this way.
I'm gonna say something back to you, yo. You say something to me, I'm gonna say it right back at you, yo. And if it gets to an escalated situation, then shit, so be it, yo. So be it.
That's what Divi is. The emerging market.
Look, watch he's frozen.
Equivalent to the Lightning Network.
Oh, he must have threw a grenade at me.
Transactionary units. What coins run on the Lightning Network? Litecoin and Bitcoin.
Oh, he got out of it.
My friend, anybody see the little...
Oh, there was another person right there.
There's a reason
I was too focused on trying to preach.
There's a reason that I run a Divi Master now. Because I want to earn more Litecoin.
Man, shut up, bro. Bitcoin, man, you're cool, but I'm not trying to hear that right now, yo. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that, y'all. I just got bored, yo. I just literally got bored. He just bored the mess out of me with that, yo. I know a lot of information about cryptocurrencies and blockchain. Anybody can build their own application. Anybody can make their own cryptocurrency. It is not hard, y'all. It is not hard at all, yo. Trust me. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. Anybody. You just gotta fucking follow instructions, yo. Read. There's a whole bunch of stuff on YouTube. I better take advantage of that joint before that shit gets removed one day and you gotta go to school for it. I mean, I think it still be on there, but it is what it is, y'all. But like I said, yo, if you're the type of person that get bothered with what people say about you, think about you, yo, then you might as well just don't go outside. Don't get online. Cause this is like an emotional era now, yo. Niggas is always in their feelings, yo. That's like me saying I don't like a certain rapper. I don't like their music. Oh, you're hating. Well, you just being a troll. How is that trolling, yo, if I don't like something? Whatever somebody's opinion about you, yo, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, it's not your reality. Why would you give a fuck, yo? If you a young cat, yo, you still in school, you got people bullying you, you need to fucking stand up to these people, yo. Get tough, yo. I ain't saying go out there go fight and shit, but learn how to talk shit back, yo. Like, learn how to crack jokes. Everybody has a weakness and shit, yo. And my weakness is getting kicked in the nuts, yo. God damn. Alright, I'm gonna holler back at y'all.